From the B-52 bomber and electric flight strips to even my own requests. Today, I'll be reacting to your powertrain flight simmer suggestions on a scale of 1 to 10, right here, right now. I'm MrBullsFan, and let's go ahead and hop right in. Alright, first suggestion is by Danny the Dino, and he has created the community update. So under this idea, we have ourselves, you can create your own airline, you can designate a hub private server, a custom tail design for planes, you can customize the names of airports in a private server, and a police car and the Boeing 707 also added. Let's go ahead and get through the good things first, and the police car would be an amazing addition because honestly, we could use some good more roleplay vehicles for ground crew, and the Boeing 707, I mean, let's be real, I mean, I'm kind of a sucker for vintage planes because they're so unique and they're so ancient. So the Boeing 707 should be added, so good on him. Now the two things I'm kind of iffy on is the customization of both the liveries and the airport names, and it all comes down to implementation. Will it have a game pass? How will it be made? Will it work like Cabin Crew Simulator? And the filtering on Roblox isn't that good, so I don't know how would the custom airports work, because if we say like a swear word, which I hope none of you do, but like, I don't know, it might not even work. I just don't know how it will work, so I'll give the suggestion a 7 out of 10. But honestly, this thumbnail, man, incredible job. Alright, CMD Gaming says that we should have the B-52 Stratus Fortress because we have the Admiral Vulcan. And honestly, let's be real, we are always looking for both new military planes and also unique ones. And the B-52 fits all those categories. The design is so unique. I think that's like 8 engines on it, which honestly is unheard of in Powertrain Flight Simulator, and would be a great addition. And I also believe the B-52 also can deploy flares, so that would be a good addition for flares, which honestly is a very underrated addition that PTFS added. So 10 out of 10 suggestion for me. So yeah, moving on, and the next one is from the ham of all hams. Boy, that feels good. Anyway, he says a new aircraft carrier with functioning catapults like the USS Nimitz or the USS Gerald R. Ford. Now, as much as I really like the HMS Queen Elizabeth, honestly, adding a brand new aircraft carrier, which a lot of people have been adding, I don't care where is it, but like, dude, another aircraft carrier would be a really sick addition. But dude, that would be an incredible addition. I don't care if it's the Nimitz, I don't care if it's the Gerald R. Ford, but dude, it would be incredible. I'm just giving out 10 out of 10s like it's Halloween candy, but you know what? I have to for this suggestion. 10 out of 10. So the next suggestion is kind of interesting. So basically, Furry MOG says add an EFS or electric flight strips to ATC towers. Now, as much as I want to say it's a pretty cool idea, and I would honestly be great, it's just too complex for the regular server. I mean, if a random noob, like with 100 flight hours, goes into ATC tower, will he ever understand it? Probably not. But with that being said, let's be real, this would be incredible for the ATC 24 server. It would be great for roleplay, it would be great for ATC, who are much more knowledgeable in aviation than, you know, your regular, usual Roblox player. It's great for ATC 24, it's not great for the main line. So for that suggestion, I'll give it a 6 out of 10 here. So I like it, but I don't think it will be added. So the next suggestion is by Pabe, and honestly, I don't even know this aircraft at all. It's the Cicada PBM 900. Now, after doing some research on it, I found out it's a very, very popular general aviation plane. And I mean, look, again, just like the, you know, the flight strips that we reviewed earlier, I like it. I think OGs and big fanboys of PTFS will love a new plane. I just don't know if, you know, your usual Roblox player would, you know, use it. And right now, the mindset for PTFS and its developers is to add big updates. And if, you know, in my opinion, would you rather add a big boy, brand new, fast military jet, or would you rather add a general aviation plane? Like, who would the fans pick? Honestly, it's just that, you know, it's a 7 out of 10. I mean, that's all I can say here. And Andrew Zhu, basically inspired by Danny the Dino's military update post, which honestly also was amazing, but High Skies update. And if we go ahead and read here, we have realistic atmosphere, just like Space Sailors, which I believe is another Roblox game, X-15, a revamped SR-71, a NASA B-52, so that can go with the previous update with the B-52, Space Shuttle, a Cape Canaveral runway. I know that's a mouthful, but holy crap, That would be really cool. Let's go ahead and talk about NASA quickly. Cape Canaveral would be an absolute really cool idea. Space shuttle, great as an individual airplane, but also on top of the Boeing 747, count me in. The NASA B-52 would be a pretty cool idea. SR-71 Blackbird, I mean, I can really use another rework. I mean, it's a pretty old plane, and I really like the design of the S-71, so imagine a revamped version. Mwah. Another thing that we also have to note is the X-15, because honestly, it would be a really, really interesting plane. And the X-15 was basically, in simplest terms, a rocket. So, I don't know, it's an aircraft. I mean, it's basically pilot training, but honestly, I think it would be a pretty interesting ad. But as an update as a whole, I have to give your suggestion a 9 out of 10 here. So the next couple of suggestions is basically off this one theme, and we're going to go ahead and dive into the ocean for these ones. So the first suggestion in this kind of subcategory is from Danny the Dino once again. I mean, I can't say enough, this guy's on a roll. So he suggests the ocean update, which adds dynamic weather, a Coast Guard seaplane, a Coast Guard boat revamp, a water landing splash effect, and a new aircraft carrier, the USS Enterprise. Let's first start with dynamic weather, and honestly, I could use more weather ideas. It would just make this whole game more substance to it, some more, realism. I think it would be a really cool addition, and especially with the high and low graphic settings. If you don't want them, just press low and you don't get them. If you want them, go high. I think it just fits pretty good. Now on the rest of the stuff that are Coast Guard related, the Coast Guard seaplane, sure. I mean, as much as seaplanes are kind of irrelevant in PTFS, I mean, you could use another, plane to add to the Coast Guard update. I mean, that would be great. Coast Guard boat revamp. I'm not asking for a revamp, but like a new boat to complement that little raft boat. I think that would be pretty cool as well. The water landing splash effect is also pretty simple, so I like it. And the USS Enterprise aircraft carrier, again, I don't care what we want. I just want another aircraft carrier in the game. That would be absolute fire, bro. So with that out of the way, I'm gonna give this whole ocean update. I know I gave the last one like a 7 out of 10, but this one, I'll give this one a 9 out of 10. But fellas, I'm gonna be completely honest, that thumbnail looks incredible. Maybe you want to make my thumbnails for me? Yeah, that offer's on table. Anyways, next suggestion is by Aussie, and it's the PBY-58 Catalina to the Seaplane Pass. As much as I want to say seaplanes, it's kind of cool, nobody uses them, but like, this plane might change that. It's very vintage, I really like the design, so I'll give the suggestion a solid 8 out of 10. I think it looks pretty cool. And the final suggestion of this whole aquatic idea is actually mine. So if you remember, I posted a YouTube short, and if you haven't watched it, it will be in the top right corner. But I posted a YouTube short showing that the walrus can't swim, even though it clearly can in PTFS. So I, MrBullsFan, would form a request and suggest making the walrus swim, aka act like a seaplane. It doesn't sink, man. And look at the overwhelming support for me. Those 3 checkmarks, I know one of them is the PCC bot, but those 2 checkmarks, bro, you guys are just, yeah, you're not on a pretty good level. But 84, because I reacted and PTC bot reacted, but basically 84 people agreed with me, so thank you. So that would be also incredible. But yeah, it's a very simple add-on. Just act it like a seaplane. Make the walrus, capabilities act like a seaplane. Make it swim, bro. Make it swim. And because it's my suggestion, I have to give this an 11 out of 10, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not biased at all. Alright, moving on. Alright, Pilot Average says add the Saab 340 for a commercial plane that is smaller than the Q400 but not so small. You know what? You're right. The smallest plane in PTFS is the Q400. And I don't care if it's the Saab 340. I don't care if it's the E120 Brasilia. I don't care. I want a commercial plane that is smaller than the Q400 but larger than the Twin Otter. So honestly, the Saab 340 kind of fits that mode. Because it's Saab and it's a very rare plane, and honestly it's very popular, and I think people will actually like this, I'll give suggestion a solid 9 out of 10 here. It's not like the biggest edition in the world that people will freak out about, but like, honestly, pretty good addition. Tessimayren, add Gatwick Madeira Airport, even though that's not Gatwick Madeira, I think it's only Madeira, and make the terrain like in real life, and make it so when you have winds on, the winds near that airport is so much stronger than other places, so the approach will be at least a little challenging in real life. Now, I'm not sure about the winds parts, but like Madeira Airport would be pretty cool. We're always looking for very unique airports. We have so many unique airports in PTFS, like Saba, St. Barths, Lukla. You know, adding another one of these would be a pretty sick addition. You know, especially that bridge, bro. That bridge overlapping the bay. That would be incredible, bro. And that would be a really hard approach for anyone, to be honest. So I'll give this suggestion a solid 10 out of 10. And not even solid, bro. Like, superb. I keep making up words, bro. Superb. Oh my lord. And the last suggestion is by Agent W and says, yeah, I think we're done here. Yeah, I'm done. Have a good day, fellas. Have a good day. Woo, I'm done.